Hello everyone, it's Hop Like Mike, back with another video. Today I'm going through the top 5 differences between the Rome Total War campaign map and the Barbarian Invasion campaign map. So this is the Rome Total War campaign map. It spans from the British Isles to the Far East and it has 103 settlements. This is the Barbarian Invasion map. It also spans from the British Isles to the Far East, but it only has 72 settlements. That's a massive 30% reduction in the number of settlements. So we're not going to stop there, we're going to dig a little bit deeper. Out of the 103 settlements that are in the Rome Total War base game, a whopping 51 were removed for Barbarian Invasion. This reduction in settlements can be seen most vividly in places like Greece and southern Italy. Here we can see Greece in Rome Total War base game. We have Sparta, Corinth, Athens, Larissa and Thermon. And here we can see it in Barbarian Invasion. The only settlement that remains is Athens. Similarly, with southern Italy, we can see a number of settlements in the Rome Total War base game. We have Lilybaeum, Messana, Syracuse, Croton, Tarentum, and Capua up here in the north. In Barbarian Invasion, however, we only have Syracuse and Tarentum. As well as removing the 51 settlements, there were also 20 new settlements added, as can be denoted by the green squares. For example, on the British Isles, we can see that one settlement has been removed and another has been added in the north. Here is the British Isles in the Rome Total War base game. You can see that we have 4 settlements, and here it is in Barbarian Invasion. We also have 4 settlements, but Diva, which was located here, has been removed, and another settlement has been added in the north called Del Reda. So when you remove all those settlements with red X's and add in the ones with the green boxes, what you get is the Barbarian Invasion map. I think what they have tried to do is remove a lot of settlements from within the Roman Empire, such as in Italy, in Spain, and modern day France, and add more settlements to Germany, where most of the Barbarian factions start and where you'd expect most of the action to take place in the early game. We can see a very high concentration of different factions in this area. So what does this reduction in settlements and the change in concentration of settlements up to Northern Europe mean for gameplay? Well, it means most of the fighting will take place in Germany. However, once you break past the Roman border, you can cover vast swathes of land without seeing any settlements at all. The reduced number of settlements leads to less city management and more non-siege battles, although it means holding settlements becomes more important because you have less of them, but they generate more money than they did previously. In Rome Total War, there are 7 wonders which are visible on the campaign map. They all give certain benefits such as increases to trade or increases to farming income. We start off with the Great Pyramid next to Memphis. Then we've got the Lighthouse at Alexandria, the Hanging Gardens of Babylon. As we move west towards the Colossus of Rhodes, north to the Mausoleum at Halicarnassus, and the Temple of Artemis at Ephesus. Lastly, next to Corinth, we have the Statue of Zeus, which gives +4 bonus to population loyalty in all settlements. So now we move on to the Barbarian Invasion campaign map. Of the 7 wonders of the world that stood in Rome Total War, only 2 of them remain in Barbarian Invasion, being the Great Pyramid and Sphinx of Giza, and the Mausoleum at Halicarnassus. As far as I'm aware, the Lighthouse at Alexandria was still standing during this time, so it could have been included in the game. The Hanging Gardens of Babylon were destroyed by an earthquake sometime in 200 BC, so it makes sense that it's not in the game. It's a similar story with the Colossus of Rhodes that was destroyed in around 230 BC by an earthquake, and that's not long after you start the Rome Total War campaign. In terms of the last 2 being the Temple at Artemis and the Statue of Zeus, it's not really known what happened to these wonders. I think the Statue of Zeus was transported at some point to Constantinople, and the temple was burnt down and rebuilt, but we'll never really know whether they stood during this time. It's certainly based on what historians have discovered. So the next point is actually the number of watchtowers on the map. So the Western Roman Empire and the Eastern Roman Empire both have a line of watchtowers surrounding their entire territory. You can see here that it starts in Africa, goes up towards the coast. There's a number of them in southern Spain. They then continue in the British Isles, and they begin again in northern Europe. So we head south here, and then east towards the Eastern Roman Empire. Then they then head up towards Scythia, and they begin again in Anatolia, before heading south towards Egypt. So if you were to go around and count how many watchtowers they have, you would find that they have 53 watchtowers on the map. So here we are back on the Rome Total War campaign map. While there are 53 watchtowers on the Barbarian invasion campaign map at the start, I can tell you, having scoured this entire map, there is not a single watchtower to be found. So the last point then is, if you go to the corner of the map, you should be able to see a unit which resembles one of the factions in that area. So here I think we have the Word Warriors, which Britannia can recruit. We go down to the left hand corner, we can see elephants, which Numidia can recruit. We go down to the right hand corner, we can see the cataphracts of the Seleucids. And if we go up to the north here, we can see the horse archers of Scythia. So now we are in the Barbarian invasion campaign map. If you go to the corners of the map, you'll see a similar design, apart from it's kind of broken up to reflect the fact that this is the time of the barbarians. The next point is religion. In the Rome Total War base game, you could build structures to the gods which would give you certain benefits and allow you to recruit specific units. In Barbarian Invasion, religion is much more integral to the game. Each province has a dominant religion. Here we can see that Rome has 75% Christianity. If a province religion is different to the state religion, which is determined by a faction leader, then you will incur public order penalties. So that is the end for this one. Please like and subscribe if you're enjoying the content, leave a comment if you have any feedback. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.